another video of the FPL Weekly Show. In this video, I'm going to go through my Game Week 6 team selection as we look ahead towards the weekend fixtures and debate yet again if Haaland is going to get rested again. So before we begin, if you find this video useful, be sure to give it a like, and if you're new here, do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Before we get to my Game Week 6 team selection, let's go through a quick recap of how Game Week 5 went. The total points tally for Game Week 5 was 90 points, and I'm extremely happy with how the week went. In the end, the difference again in the higher scoring Game Week results were between those who captained Haaland or not. My overall ranking was almost half, from 4.4 million to 2.4 million. It just shows it's still too early to worry about overall rankings just yet. So where else to start Game Week 5 recap than Manchester City and Haaland? Another dominating performance from Manchester City to crush Nottingham Forest 6-0, with City's defence largely untroubled and Cancelo looking more like the Cancelo of last season and popping up with a goal from outside the box. Haaland followed up his hat-trick against Palace with yet another hat-trick, making it 9 goals in just 5 Premier League games. Elsewhere, Liverpool's defence was suspect yet again, as they were lucky to escape from the Newcastle game with a victory right in the dying seconds of the game. Salah grabbed 2 assists, but he just wasn't presented with much scoring chances in the game. And Arsenal continued their impressive start to the season with a 2-1 victory against a poor Aston Villa side. Martinelli showed yet again why he's the bargain of the season with another goal and picked up 3 bonus points. Andreas played well and contributed an assist and a bonus point, while Rodrigo was unlucky in dislocating his shoulder and forced to come off just after half an hour and after just missing a golden chance. The key decision this week will be to decide what to do with him, but overall delighted with the points tally this week after a mediocre start to the season. Now let's look at my Game Week 6 team selection. Ederson remains in goal, while I've decided to go with a back 5 this week with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Reece James, Robertson and Neco Williams. Manchester City travelled to Aston Villa this weekend. We've lost 3 games in a row, and despite the attacking talent in the Villa side, their expected goals aren't great, and that should help City's clean sheet total. Reece James missed the game against Southampton through illness, but looks set to be back for the West Ham game. It seems that without James' attacking threat on the right wing, Chelsea's wing play doesn't feel the same, and West Ham has struggled for goals this season, scoring only 2 goals in 5 Premier League games, while Chelsea hasn't kept a clean sheet since Game Week 1, so hopefully it's time that Chelsea gets another clean sheet. Alexander-Arnold and Robertson remains in the side, while I was tempted to shift Robertson out this week after a poor performance, as well as another poor defensive display by Liverpool. It seems that doubling up on Liverpool's defence isn't paying off this season. But with Matip returning to the Liverpool side for this weekend, hopefully Liverpool's clean sheet crisis is ending. Neco Williams starts in my Game Week team for the first time this season as Forest plays Bournemouth. Neco Williams is in the top few for XG and XGI this season so far, so hopefully against Bournemouth he can get more than just a clean sheet. In midfield, I've decided to go with 3 in the middle. Salah and Martinelli remains in the side, while Rodrigo's injury has forced a more immediate attention to transfer in another midfielder. With Everton one of the worst for conceding chances down both flanks, it could be a fruitful week for Trent, Robertson and Salah. Salah currently has the highest expected points for midfielders, so it's going to be close in deciding who's going to captain for this game week. Rodrigo's injury has caused him to be out possibly till October, so I'm getting him out this week. I made 0.1 million on the Rodrigo transfer with a selling price of 6.3 million. That makes a total of 6.9 million available for transfer. So looking at the next 3 game weeks with the fixture analyzer from Fantasy Football Hub, Nottingham Forest, Brighton and Newcastle are set to have the top 3 best fixtures coming. However, I feel that Nottingham Forest don't really have a settled squad yet, considering they have 21 new signings, and I think they're still trying to figure out their best 11. But considering that Brighton is facing the current 2 worst defences in the league, I've decided to go with a Brighton player. So these are the top 4 Brighton midfield players based on points returned. However, keep in mind that McAllister's 2 goals this season comes from the penalty spot. While Pascal Gross has been the most popular Brighton player this season, it's interesting that his shots in the box is way lesser than that of Trossard, with only 5 in the box compared to Trossard's 10. I'm not sure if Gross can keep his form up. He's definitely overperformed this season in my opinion, and I feel that underlying numbers can suggest that Trossard can emerge better in the coming weeks, especially now with the arrival of Brighton's new left wing-back, Estupinian. Solly March's expected goals, expected assists and expected points looks good, but his previous season's track record ain't looking good. So I've decided to go with Trossard to replace Rodrigo, which means spending a bit more than I wanted, but I think when I sell Robertson in the coming weeks, it should be able to free up more cash. So here we go to replace Rodrigo with Trossard. Up front, it remains Gabriel Jesus and Erling Haaland. As it stands, Haaland is my captain for the week. I know that many people are worried that Haaland may be rested, but it's possible he could do damage coming fresh off the bench. Haaland was replaced after 67 minutes against Forest, Nottingham Forest in midweek, so it's possible he could start against Villa and taken off around the 70th minute again, which should give him sufficient rest for Sevilla in midweek. I'm still 50-50 on the captaincy with Salah and Haaland, and I may leave it late near the deadline to decide on this. Salah, being a midfielder, has an extra point for each goal scored, and that could edge Haaland if they both score the same goals. Bournemouth game aside, Liverpool's attack has certainly made things difficult, so it's definitely a tight call. Anyway, that wraps up the Game Week 6 team selection. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments below how your game week went and who you plan to captain for game week 6. And if you've enjoyed the content so far, don't forget to click on the subscribe button to support the channel. Hope you have a good